We have confirmed the identity. The deceased is your eldest daughter, Rainey Somerset. Chapter 4. My father stood in the hospital corridor, his phone pressed to his ear, his face a mask of disbelief. The fluorescent lights above him flickered, casting his shadow long and thin against the pale green wall. Confirmed identity. The police officer's voice crackled through the speaker. The deceased is your eldest daughter, Rainey Somerset. We need someone to come to the address to formally identify the body. My father said nothing. His hand dropped to his side, the phone still pressed against his palm, the officer's voice now a distant murmur. He stood there for a long moment, his eyes fixed on something I couldn't see. Maybe he was looking at the memory of me, the daughter he had shoved aside, the daughter whose head had cracked against the table corner while he rushed to save someone else. Mr. Somerset, are you still there? He raised the phone again, his movements slow, mechanical. Yes, I'm here. I'll come now. He hung up and stood in the hallway, his shoulders slumped, his hands hanging loose at his sides. He looked smaller somehow, diminished, like someone had let the air out of him. I watched him from the corner of the corridor, my ghost self drifting closer, curious despite everything. Would he cry? Would he fall apart? Would he finally see what he had done? He took a deep breath. He straightened his shoulders. And then he walked back into my sister's hospital room. My mother looked up when he entered. What was that about? Who called? My father's eyes flickered toward the bed where Stella lay, her face peaceful now, the sedatives finally pulling her under. It was the police. They need someone to. He stopped. Swallowed. They need someone to identify Rainey's body. The words hung in the air like smoke. My mother blinked. Identify her body? What do you mean, identify her body? She's at home. She was resting at home. My father didn't answer. He didn't need to. The truth was written on his face, in the gray pallor of his skin, in the way his hands trembled at his sides. No. My mother's voice was barely a whisper. No, that's not possible. She just hit her head. It was a small cut. I saw it. It was just a small cut, Mrs. Somerset. A nurse appeared in the doorway, her face grave. The paramedics reported that your other daughter had sustained a head injury. We assumed someone was with her. Did no one stay behind? My mother's hand flew to her mouth. We thought she was fine. She was just lying there. She always lies there when she wants attention. She stopped. Her eyes went wide, and for the first time I saw something that looked like fear in them. Not fear for Stella. Fear of what she had done. We need to go, my father said. His voice was flat, empty. We need to go to the apartment. The police are waiting, but Stella, my mother started. Stella is sedated. She'll be fine. He turned to the nurse. Can someone stay with her? We need to. There's been a mistake. There has to be a mistake. The nurse nodded slowly, her eyes moving between my parents with something that might have been judgment or might have been pity. Of course. Take as much time as you need. My parents left the room together, walking side by side, but not touching, not speaking. They moved like strangers who happened to be going in the same direction. I followed them, drifting through the hospital corridors, past the nurse's station, out through the emergency room doors into the cold morning air. Their car was parked at the curb, and they got in without a word. My father's hands were steady on the steering wheel, but his knuckles were white. My mother stared out the window, her reflection pale and hollow in the glass. The drive to our apartment was short. 7 minutes, usually. Today it felt like hours. No one spoke. The only sound was the hum of the engine and the occasional sigh of the heating